Hello students, this is the very first class of your 12 physics. Today we are going to discuss the very first chapter, that is electrostatics. Electrostatics is the study that deals with the static charges only. Static means the charges whenever not moving. That means their behavior whenever they are in static position. That's all. So before going through in detail, first of all you have to understand what the charge is. Basically, charge is a property of a substance like mass, another thing, weight, its velocity, whatever. Similarly, charge is also a property. What is that property? If a substance, you already have known it through chemistry that if a substance loses electrons or gains electrons, it becomes charged. If it loses electron, it becomes positively charged, and if it gains electrons, it becomes negatively charged. Why when it gains electrons becomes negative and becomes positive when it loses electrons? This is because in this world there are two types of charges. One is positive, another one is negative. Here the positive, negative are nothing but the names assigned to the types of charges possessed by protons and electrons respectively. You do know that protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged through chemistry. We have just assigned plus to proton and minus to electron. That's all, nothing else. So accordingly, if a substance gains extra electrons, it becomes negative, and if it loses electrons, the number of protons becomes higher. That's why it becomes positively charged. That's all about electric charge. So finally, only one point is charge is only because of presence or absence of extra electrons, nothing else. Because proton cannot participate in making a body charged or uncharged. Why? Normally proton is affixed to the nucleus very tightly. That's why it is very difficult to separate a proton from a substance. Normally electrons get separated from a substance. That's why we don't count protons for making a body charged or uncharged. This is the only electron that accounts for the charged property of a substance. That's all. Next topic is our conductors and insulators. Here is our next topic, conductors and insulators. Obviously, you must be knowing that conductors are the substances that allow electricity to pass through them quite easily, like all the metals like iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, gold, etc. Another thing is insulator. Insulator is a substance that normally does not allow electricity to pass through it easily. Actually, in this universe, no pure conductor or no pure insulator does exist. If you say pure conductor, that means it has zero resistance. But zero resistance is not possible practically. That you will understand in chapter current electricity. Whatever, for the moment you just know that conductors are the substances that are very familiar with electric current and insulators that are not familiar with electric current. Examples of insulators are your glass, plastic, wood, etc. Very common things. The another classification is there also, that is semiconductor. Conductors and insulators are the not only the only classifications. Semiconductor is also there. We shall go through about semiconductor in the last chapter, and for the time being the classification is also not clear. The classification of conductors and insulators that I am defining right now is not the final classification. Their classification is based upon some properties like energy band that you will go through in last chapter. So we are not discussing all this right now. Our next topic is basic properties of charge. What are the properties possessed by the charges? First property is additivity. You can easily understand what additivity is. Charges are always added algebraically. That is, the plus and minus signs are taken into consideration whenever we add a bunch of charges. Suppose in a body or in a system there are 4 positive charges and 7 negative charges. And if it is asked that what is the net charge in the system, then you have to add 4 positive plus 7 negative. Total becomes 3 negative charges. So total charge becomes 3 negative charges. If you go through electrons, that suppose there are 7 electrons and 4 protons, then net charge becomes 3 electronic charges. This is all about additivity of charges. Next topic is charge is conserved. Next property of charge, that is charge is conserved. What is charge is conserved? You must be knowing what the conservation principle of energy, that is energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it can only be transformed. Similarly, total charge in this universe is constant. We can't create new charges nor destroy the existing charges. When two bodies are rubbed, one loses charge and the other gains charge by transfer of electrons. In the whole process, the total charge was initially 0. The two bodies, those who were being rubbed, were initially neutral, let us suppose. And finally, one body loses electron and one body gains the same number of electrons. That's why total charge again becomes 0. Suppose one body loses 4 electrons, the same 4 electrons are transferred to the another body. So one body becomes 4 positive and another body becomes 4 negative. So net charge becomes 0. That means initial charge before process is equal to final charge after the process. So this is called conservation of charge. Charge cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred from one body to another. This is all about conservation of charge. Next is quantization. What is quantization? To understand this thing, let us take an example, practical example. Suppose you are going to a shop and asking for 1 kg of sugar to the shopkeeper. Of course, you do know that the shopkeeper already knows what the 1 kg's amount is all about. What is the exact amount of 1 kg? He understands it. That's why you are directly asking for 1 kg of sugar. Suppose you think for a moment that he does not know what the amount of 1 kg is. Then how can he give you 1 kg of sugar then? For this, we have already assumed, or internationally it is assumed, that what could be the amount of 1 kg substance. 1 kg is defined by some rules. This is called quantization. We are giving a quantity to some substance. Of course, you do know that 1 kg is a quantity. Similarly, to understand the amount of charge in a substance, you have to give a quantity to the charge. What could be the quantity of charge in a substance? That process is called quantization. Then what could be that quantity? Suppose a substance loses 1 electron. It becomes charged with plus E. Plus in the sense it loses electron, and E means it loses 1 electron. Then suppose it loses another electron. Then it becomes plus 2E. That means it becomes 2 times electronically charged. Again, if you extract another electron, it will become plus 3E. So in this way you can continue, and at any moment you can assign this charge as Ne. Ne, I am writing here, Q becomes, that is, Q is equal to N times E, where E is 1 electronic charge. Its amount is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. So here N is nothing but 1 integer. If you lose electrons, then N is becoming positive. If the substance is gaining electrons, N is obviously becoming negative, because if you add electrons, the substance becomes negatively charged. So in this way we can find out what could be the amount of charge in a substance. But the question is, can we assign a value of, that is, half E to a substance? Half E. No, because electron cannot be divided. That means the value of N here could only be integers, not any fractions. So this is called quantization of charge. What is quantization? Charge is an integral multiple of 1 electronic charge. The charge Q is always equal to integral multiple of 1 electronic charge. And of course you know what electronic charge amount is. This is all about quantization. This is all about for today. In the next class we shall discuss Coulomb's law.